and on, singing with this choir, and having the choir sing for like an hour, waiting for the owl to arrive, because he gets his signal from the owl, and you'll hear him in reverse speech. I have it at SherryAudios.com. I also have it at SherryTalkRadio.com, where he waits for the owl to arrive. I imagine owl is just a name for Satan. And when Satan arrives, this owl, then he all of a sudden has power to perform these miracles, these fake miracles. Well, when we're there with the orgone, Satan won't arrive. And so Benny Hinn's left with plan B of pulling out the fake setups, the actors and actresses that he has brought in the audience in case plan A doesn't work, to where the fakes come out, and then he just heals fakes. You know, it's like, whatever, he has to do something for his show. And so we targeted him this year. We had a lot of fun. I've seen it in the codes. He was just furious he was being targeted. And we need to do it again this year, folks. Get a hold of his schedule at bennyhinn.com or .org, or wherever his website is. See if he's going to have a conference or a charade in your area. And orgone the place. Get it all nice and set up for him so, he can't hurt anybody. It's basically what ends up happening, because I remember hearing from several different people just falling into convulsions because he puts demons inside people. When he lays hands on you, you're accepting whatever he gives you. He's putting demons in these people, and some of them are just falling to the ground in convulsions. And a lot of these, one of the tactics they all use, Kenneth Copeland, Benny Hinn, they all do it. They'll have maybe a conference in the morning or the next day or day before, whatever, for all the church leaders in the area. Have a special session just for all these church leaders, youth pastors, pastors in the area, Sunday school teachers. If you're a leader in the church, they'll have a special prayer just for you, and they put demons in all of them. These people are so stupid. And so they go to these Benny Hinn things for this special prayer, special anointing from Benny Hinn, and they end up possessed because he puts demons in them. And they're not violent demons. They're just used to deceive people and keep them in deception. That's how they do it. And I've always said, that's how this whole Pentecostal movement works. They just share demons. They have, these ministers. You say, well, Satan can't cast out Satan. Well, that's right. It's all charade. It doesn't work. And that's why Satan's kingdom won't stand. It's divided. That's why he only gets a certain amount of time, and it's pretty much self-destruction from the time he starts. So another thing I was looking at was, other interesting things coming up. Wormwood in October of 2009, which would be this year, headed westwards towards America. I suspect it will hit. I've seen 3 different types of objects hitting our atmosphere, our continent. I can't say they're going to hit in America. I don't know, but I know it's going to hit in our continent. And especially Europe. It could hit, there was a city in Austria that was mentioned. I can't think of it right now. But it was in Austria. That was a possible place. And the Great Lakes in the United States or over in the Pacific Ocean. So look for Wormwood. That's going to happen also as well after Jesus arrives. And I think Jesus is going to arrive in September of this year. I do believe that this year, I do know without a doubt that September of this year either way starts 2009. Even though our calendar says it's 2008, in the Hebrew calendar, their year starts in September. And I do believe this will be the year that Jesus arrives with his whole entourage. And so we need to have a nice little welcome party for him over there by Bethlehem. I think he's going to come down over there by Bethlehem somewhere. In Israel. And so we need orgone warriors out there getting busy in Israel. Also the Negev Desert, because they're going to like hanging out there for some reason. The Negev always comes up. And the only thing in the Negev is, it's the south of Israel. There's that Dimona nuclear power plant there, and then basically there's nothing there. It's desert. And so we still need to get orgone in these desert areas, folks. Also the United Emirates in Dubai. We need to target Dubai. We need to target Mecca. If anybody can get orgone in those areas, please send me an email, and I'll do what I can to help you get it, because we've got to get these areas. Also over by India, Delhi, we also need to cover Ethiopia. And a lot of these places, I mean, this isn't like America. You can't just travel from Sudan to Ethiopia or, you know, in Saudi Arabia. You have to have special permission and passes to get into Dubai. You can't just be anybody and just travel freely, especially these Arab places. And so they're very hard, difficult to target. We need Arab Christians, business people, religious people that have access into these areas. That can carry orgone for us over into these areas, because it's this orgone that's going to completely destroy Satan's army. See it in the codes all the time. I have a good laugh. I can't say a whole lot. Lord ties my hands on this. I was tying my mouth last week. He wasn't letting me say a lot. And this week's pretty much the same things. There are just some things I cannot talk about right now, because they need to happen. We need to get going. And as much as I keep talking all the time, because he knows I'm a big mouth, and that's my job, I do it well, they change their plans and don't do them. And so it's time for things to commence. And so, you know, Lord's keeping quiet on some things, so they'll just happen. Some of the other things I've seen in the codes, going along with Obama and being a snorter, is George Bush snorting cocaine in the Oval Office. That's right in the codes. People used to have a fit about Bill Clinton and his adultery in the Oval Office. George Bush snorts coke in the Oval Office. Another thing, heads up, is if you look at my website at hiddencodes.com, back in 2001, 2003, I think it was, I posted codes on the destruction of Washington. Congress beware. We had a fire in the Capitol on July 4th, and I don't even remember. I haven't looked at that code since. I know it's on my website, and I'll just leave it there. I'll direct you to it. But that's going to come up. That's going to come up this year. Look for destruction in Washington in July of this year or next year. Because this July, really, we're still in 2008, but, you know, how the codes are, and me reading them. I can't tell you specifically what their destruction is going to be in 2008 or 2009. But it's up there again. It's coming back up. Washington being destroyed. And so, it's more like a terrorist attack or something. I don't see a big bomb dropping on Washington as much as we'd like one for there to be. Maybe just the Capitol itself. They're going to get rid of the Capitol because they don't need Congress. They want to get rid of Congress. And so, yeah, that's up for July of this year. You might want to keep an eye on that. Stay out of Washington July 4th, because there is going to be fireworks literally on July 4th. New York City comes up as well, but I don't see the destruction of New York City coming until after the 144,000 are raptured off the earth. And so if you see a disappearance of the 144,000, and I'm not talking about a big mouse being thrown in jail or incarcerated or something. I'm talking about literally disappearing off the face of the planet. Then New York City is going to be destroyed. That's next on the agenda, folks. The whole bride is not going to be raptured at that time. Just that faction of 144,000. And so that's kind of like a timetable for you. That when that group is gone, and very few of you will probably even notice they're gone. I mean, 144,000 out of a world of 7 billion people isn't much. It's just a handful. But we'll be back. We're going to go to heaven. He marks his name on our foreheads, empowers us to do more, and we get to come back. And then the 144,000 are sealed on earth. I've talked about that plenty, where there's two groups of 144,000. The church has always taught that there's just one, but there's actually two. And so you'll see that second group being sealed on earth, 12,000 from each tribe of Israel. You'll see that. And then the next thing on the agenda after, we're not going to see it, but that's